Hello there. How are you doing? Hope you're doing good. Got a new video for you. I know I've been bad about uploading, but here's a new mini lesson that you can do as self-study or with a group. So this is for students and teachers. Here's my first hint today. We've got some books. So my question to you, do you like to read? I've got an interesting story for you. I do like to read. I don't read that many books, to be honest with you. I feel like I should read more. One I've currently got on my nightstand, it's a book called Atomic Habits. It's a combination of kind of sociology, psychology, obviously habit forming, and it's written in a way that's really easy to understand for people that aren't sociologists or psychologists. So that's what I'm reading right now. Someone in my family who loves to read is my sister. She reads more than anyone I have ever met. I'm not kidding you when I say she reads, I don't know, like 4 to 7 books at any one moment, and it's non-stop. The pile of books is constantly rotating. She also knows everything. No joke. She's not a scientist or anything like that, but if you want to know something, my sister is a person for you. All right, anyway, enough about that. Let's move on. So, some things for you guys to discuss these questions. So, give this slide a pause and think about your answers, or, of course, discuss your answers with your classmates. Continuing on, some good vocabulary that you'll hear in this news article that I thought we could cover. So first, pronunciation for these words and phrases, and then the meaning. Allegedly. Tricked someone into something, or tricked someone into doing something. Impersonated. Obtained. Mimicked. Information comes to light. Bringing charges against someone, and wire fraud. Interesting vocabulary. So allegedly, this is a word we use connected with crimes. So this is a way to say that we think something happened, or we also think that someone did something bad, illegal, but we really don't have proof or evidence of this. So John X allegedly stole money from the bank. That's what we think he did, but maybe there are no witnesses and there's no video to prove this. So we use the word allegedly here. Tricked someone into doing something. This is deceptive, which is a form of lying. You're deceiving someone to get someone else to do something that you want, or to get someone to believe something to be true. Impersonated. This is a way to be dressed or disguised as another person. It can be used in a positive way, it can also be used in a negative way. Depends on the context. Obtained. This is a nice fancy synonym for the verb to get. So if someone obtains a fake passport, they got a fake passport. Mimicked. It's from the verb to mimic, which means to copy, typically with a behavior. You can also hear this word in the animal kingdom. If one animal is mimicking the behavior of another animal. Information comes to light. This is another way to say that some information or news or something has arisen to the surface. It has become known. Bringing charges. Charges, it's a legal word. You'll hear it on the news when speaking about criminals or crime reports or the police. So charges are the, let's say, official crimes that are being documented that the police are saying that someone committed. And wire fraud. This is a crime committed via means of electronic communication. So the internet, the computer, phone. These are forms of wire fraud. So if maybe there's some financial crime online, it would be wire fraud. All right, are you ready to move on? Let's go. So before you hear the article, let's look at this symbol. What is this symbol? Do you know this symbol? And what is this symbol usually connected to? And how do you think this will be connected to what you're about to hear? Something to think about. So we know this is about books. What do you guys think? Pause here, think about it, or discuss it with your classmates. All right, are you about ready for this news item? So as you hear this article, here are some questions for you to listen for the answers. And I'll go ahead and tell you that this is from January of this year. I'm recording this in March, so this is not brand new, but it's still interesting nevertheless. I'll get us started once the ambulance stops. It's always very noisy here. Okay, here we go. For 5 years, a man who worked in publishing tricked authors and industry insiders into sending him hundreds of unpublished manuscripts, including one from a Pulitzer Prize-winning author, according to federal authorities. Now, the alleged fraudster is facing federal charges. Filippo Bernardini, a 29-year-old Italian citizen who was working for publishing company Simon & Schuster UK as a rights coordinator, was arrested on Wednesday as he arrived at John F. Kennedy Airport in New York. He will appear in a federal court in Manhattan on Thursday. Federal authorities say Bernardini impersonated real people in the publishing industry to fraudulently obtain manuscripts of novels and other books and notes about those books. He obtained hundreds of unpublished manuscripts from August 2016 to July 2021, according to prosecutors. Unpublished manuscripts are works of art to the writers who spend the time and energy creating them. Publishers do all they can to protect those unpublished pieces, because of their value. Michael Driscoll, the assistant director in charge of the FBI's New York office, said in a statement. Mr. Bernardini was allegedly trying to steal other people's literary ideas for himself, but in the end, he wasn't creative enough to get away with it, he said. Bernardini did not immediately appear to have obtained legal representation, and despite the elaborate nature of his scheme, it's still unclear what his motivation was. The scheme allegedly involved Bernardini creating fake email accounts and web pages that seemed to match real people in the publishing industry, including talent agents and people at publishing houses. Prosecutors say he had more than 160 internet domains that were deliberately designed to be, quote-unquote, confusingly similar to the real pages. For example, the federal authorities say Bernardini would replace the lowercase m with the two letters RN to make them appear similar. And he designed a web page that mimicked a scouting company's website and asked users to enter a username and password. That information was then automatically sent to his own email address. Bernardini's employer, Simon & Schuster UK, said it was, quote-unquote, shocked and horrified to learn about the allegations. The publisher added that Bernardini has been suspended until more information comes to light. The safekeeping of our authors' intellectual property is of primary importance to Simon & Schuster and for all in the publishing industry. and we are grateful to the FBI for investigating these incidents and bringing charges against the alleged perpetrator, the company said in a statement to NPR. Bernardini is being charged with wire fraud, which has a maximum sentence of 20 years in prison, and aggravated identity theft, which has a mandatory sentence of 2 consecutive years in prison. So, go back and listen again. Make sure you got all those answers. Are you ready to move on? All right. One more slide today. Here's the name of the article it's from National Public Radio, and this is the title if you'd like to find the original. So again, we've got our books because this is about books and manuscripts and, well, an interesting character, we'll call him that. So kind of to wrap this up, maybe some additional things you can consider, think about, or talk about with your classmates. 2 last questions. What do you think? All right, so that's all for this mini lesson. Hope you enjoyed this one. Maybe you were able to learn a few new things. You can always go back and listen and watch again. If you'd like to improve your pronunciation, you can, of course, pause more often and do your best to mimic me in my pronunciation. Of course, with those helpful vocabulary words and phrases at the beginning, as well as any other language throughout the article. And of course, also, it would be great to make notes about perhaps new grammar or maybe new verb forms in this news article that were unknown to you before. So again, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button, and I'll try to be better about posting more stuff in the upcoming months. I even have another one waiting here on my computer to finish the presentation, so maybe I'll record that one soon. It's another one about some errors I hear from my students, or that I have heard from my students. So maybe there will be some similarities with mistakes that you find yourself making. All right, everybody, have a great day. I'm going to go make another coffee. So until next time, bye-bye.